I yield back.
And we turn now to Senator Johnson, who will be followed by Senator Van Hollen.
So to prove my environmental bona fides here, my wife has a hybrid SUV, pretty good sized one. And we've actually had it up over 30 miles per gallon. That's when she plugs it in. Every now and again she doesn't, so I think we're down to about 28 right now. So we watch that, okay? Now, I've always wondered, and it's interesting, Senator Kaine, you mentioned $1 a gallon. Is that I don't know, I've never heard really what does it cost. Is that about right, that it's equivalent of about $1 a gallon per gas to charge a EV versus what it costs for gallon gas, whoever's got the information?
Yeah, Senator, I think that's fair. Obviously, it's going to base largely on the utility rates, but I think the working numbers anywhere from 2/3 less costly compared to a gallon equivalent. So whether it's $1 or $1.50.
I'd say it's about 1/3 of the cost. Again, that's pretty attractive, okay? You've got the smooth ride. You got fast acceleration. There's a lot of benefits, okay, as well as in the fact if you're just using a hybrid like my wife does, driving around town, never even has to use gas. So I'm not opposed. But my question is, if they've got so many market appeals, why do we need government subsidies? Take it up. I would say you don't. We should end them. Mr. Schwietert.
Sure, Senator. Obviously, you're talking about affordability generally. Excuse me. Obviously, when it comes to the record number of products, it's both the industrial policy as well as, the marketplace dynamics.
We mess up when government doesn't do very well. For example, we spent $7.5 billion to do charging stations. After more than 2 years, we've got 7 of them. Testimony was talking about we've basically run the Highway Trust Fund into insolvency, and we haven't really fixed that. Why is China producing all these electric vehicles? For its own home market? It's for central planning,
sure,
industrial engineering in other countries, correct? Is there any major Western country that doesn't subsidize EVs because of climate alarmism? How many U.S. automakers are making money producing EVs?
Senator, as I said in my remarks, we're in the early innings. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So yes, costs are going to have to come down.
Yeah, well, how much are they losing on average?
Depends on the manufacturer and their product cycle.
So why are they doing it? Because they're getting government subsidies, right? The consumers are being subsidized, and the automakers are also being subsidized, correct? And the mandate we're talking about are the things like CAFE standards that coerce them to offer EVs so they can produce vehicles that American consumers do want. I mean, I'd never go to 100% EV. Happy to do the hybrid, happy to be environmental. I want the comfort of having an internal combustion engine.
Yeah, Senator, as it relates to the recent auto standards, we've been pretty clear with the Biden administration. Obviously, we need to ensure that there's alignment as it relates to where the market is, as well as encouraging.
No, there won't be alignment where the market is. Government's not that smart. I mean, honestly, $7.5 billion, we have 7 charging stations. We've run the Highway Trust Fund back 2008 insolvent. We haven't fixed that problem. And we're going to have this command economy, and we're going to plan for a growth in the electrical grid. By the way, we don't have the mining capacity. I would argue we really don't have the electrical capacity. Those climate alarmists are generally opposed to nuclear, which certainly would be part of the problem. China dominates the battery industry, and our subsidies are providing a market for China's command economy. How does any of this make sense?
Senator, just with respect, our subsidies are targeted to U.S. manufacturing of batteries through 45X, and the consumer EV tax credits are specifically designed to excise China from the supply chain.
How many consumers have experienced the cost of replacing a battery in an EV?
It's an extremely rare occurrence.
What percent? What
it's an extremely rare occurrence.
It's gonna. They don't last forever, do they? How long do they last?
Neither does an internal combustion engine car or transmission.
There are cars on the road from the 30s and 40s and 50s. How long is an EV battery going to last? And what is the cost to replace it?
EV batteries account for anywhere from 30 to 40% of upfront costs. Obviously, there's warranty and durability built into those batteries, but yes.
How long do they last?
The battery itself can last quite some time, and then, of course, it can be
How long?
repurposed and reused.
A couple 100,000 miles at least. But we have Teslas on the road with that many miles already.
And it's going to
This
cost
is early, so.
$10,000, $20,000 to replace?
Well, that's the cost today.
What about recycling of them? What about recycling of wind turbines? Now, I'm seeing these pictures of these massive dumps of these wind turbines just collapsing. And again, it doesn't make economic sense because government is trying to centrally plan, and government's awful at it.
I just wanted to pipe in if I could,
Sure.
sir, on battery recycling. Batteries are eminently recyclable and are near
Not
a closed
these,
loop.
not the lithium batteries. We don't have capacity for doing it right now.
Well,
We
actually-
haven't developed
We're building
a
that
way of
capacity.
doing it.
We are building that capacity, and certainly the U.S. is a leader in the standards.
Kind of like Senator Brown was talking about, yeah, we have to rely on all these technological innovations we don't have yet. And let's face it, they've been trying to innovate batteries for decades and really haven't been able to do it, have they?
I'm not sure I would agree with that. The costs have fallen dramatically. The density has doubled in the last 9 years or 7 years. So battery innovation is dramatic, and with
That's
support.
good. So let the marketplace dictate the speed of this innovation. Stop subsidizing this. That's my only point. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm opposed to government intervention in the marketplace. We just screw things up, and as Senator Brown said, we can't afford it. $35 trillion in debt. We just can't afford all this stuff. But thank you, Mr.
Senator
Chairman.
Van Hollen.